Is that our intro today?
Oh no! Have you watched the new Mandalorian?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Lauren gave me shit for this the other day. This is my dad dance.
She watches?
No. I don't do this here. I was doing this in the kitchen. Ella was like learning how to walk and dance and things. I'm like telling her to dance. I'm like, hey, you should dance. She's like, you're being your fucking father. Oh. I mean, I love my dad. That's okay. I don't mean
I hope
like
she
that.
does
But
too.
it's just such a It's just such a like.
Yeah.
There's always the
You're
things.
dating yourself a little.
There's always the things where you're like, I do this because this is like either natured or nurtured, one of the two.
Yeah, I kind of dance.
That's the dad dance.
Like, I don't know how else are you supposed to dance.
There's a lot of other ways to dance.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
samba.
Full go hard.
You can.
Like,
okay.
you know?
Yeah.
No. But
you can whine.
So you asked me, have I watched
Yes,
The
the new
Mandalorian?
Mando or the
No.
finale of the Man. Okay.
I watched maybe 2 episodes, 3 episodes. Trash. Terrible.
Hot take.
I changed my screensaver. Mando is not it anymore.
No.
No, I
That's
can't. I can't support that anymore.
Wait, what is it? Just a Greek flag?
It's just, yeah, it's like.
No, it's not.
It's the Acropolis.
Okay, so it's basically a Greek flag.
Yeah.
More or less just a Greek flag.
It's like more Greek than the Greek flag.
All right, I'm going to change my background to Pompeii brothels. Just Pompeii, okay? Just Pompeii in general.
That makes more sense.
Jeez.
Ugh, just a big pizza or something.
Should have looked it up. Should have dropped a photo into the edit. I found the pictures. Of the compasses of Pompeii.
Oh, that's pretty
and
cool.
some of the artwork, the menu.
Mm.
They do have menu items online.
Interesting. Send it to me. I'll clip
it's
a reel like that next time.
So no
Mandalorian. Honestly, I can't watch any of those. They've totally lost my interest. Like
just Disney as a whole.
Disney as a whole has
just destroyed.
There's nothing I want. I did watch the Super Mario movie.
Oh shit! I
It
need to
was
watch that.
great.
I made Lauren listen to Peaches in the car. It's good. It's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the movie's exactly what you want. It's the most. Honestly, they got it so right.
Yeah.
Everything about it was so right. The backstory, the characters in it, everything was just well done.
Yeah.
And there was no empowerment to it. There was no, personal agenda being pushed in the movie. It was just a good Super Mario movie. It was just Mario. Bowser's the bad guy. Mario's the good guy. And Mario's kind of like.
How do you empower Mario? I mean, I guess.
Well, they could have just totally. If it was Disney,
Daisy.
it would have been like, Daisy comes in, and all of a sudden, Mario. There was
Toadette.
There was
the
that
whole squad
like,
comes together.
Like, Princess Peach was like a badass, and she is.
Yeah, but she's legit. Yeah,
she's legit. But then Mario, it shows
still
his come up,
Mario.
and it's just like, he's actually the sickest guy, and like, have you ever played Luigi's Haunted Mansion or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
It's so good. They throw it back to that, and it's like. Oh man, I'm getting chills.
That's the golden
Was it
era.
the best movie ever? Like, obviously not. It's a kids movie as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's very geared towards that. A lot of the jokes are like, you heard the little kid laughing in the theater when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cute. The writing was like okay. It was like a 7 out of 10 storyline. Plotline was whatever. But the whole action of it, it moved. It was an hour and a half, and it was like. Scene.
Right.
Like it wasn't
Pacing
like this like slow filler or anything. It wasn't.
Well, if you're trying to appeal to kids, I feel like too.
Get their attention, and every scene was like, oh my god, action scene, boom, all this is cool things happening, and throwback to this, and a little bit of dialogue, and then boom, all right, back.
Like cool stuff.
If anything, I wanted more dialogue from Bowser, and I wanted to see more Jack Black because they could just have a movie on him. He was amazing.
You know what? They might. I would hope. I hope they do like a second.
The voice actors were all great. Chris
Pratt is Mario.
Charlie Day
is Luigi,
and it was
that's funny.
Perfect person for it. His whole like scare, like
oh shit, he does that so well.
Like, he's just like the perfect guy to do it. And Bowser, obviously. And then the rest, I'm not. Oh, Seth Rogen was Donkey Kong.
Yes,
is hilarious. Like. Just
like just classic like Rogan laugh.
Yeah,
that's so good.
It was good. It was a good movie. I was really happy. My girlfriend liked it too. She's not like super into like any of those animation kiddie movies. I made her go see Frozen 2 in theaters when it came out, so I'm pretty into it. Yeah. But she liked this one a lot. She was like, that was great. And
Good.
We couldn't stop singing.
Beaches?
Yeah.
Is it in the movie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's the best.
All right. I got to go watch it
Anyways,
now.
I got all excited talking about
Yeah,
that.
no kidding.
It was great.
That's like that throws me back to like the best, at least in my opinion, maybe dating myself, but the best like Mario era. That like Luigi's Mansion, I guess it was really all like late N64, early GameCube period, or just all of the GameCube period. Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, N64 Paper Mario was a blast.
Well, man, even on the Switch and Wii, they're really
Yeah.
good games. Like,
Yeah, we went to
Odyssey.
Ottawa to hang out with Sonia and Alex for like
Yeah.
a weekend a while back, and the four of us spent the entire time after Ella went to bed. We would just have like Mario Kart competitions.
yeah,
like, the
they're
entire
all
time.
great games. They're really good. They're simplified. Like, they're for kids, and when you played it, you were a kid.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, you know, they're not. It's not like now where you're playing Elden Ring and you're like, holy crap, what's going on? But it's still
Yeah.
it's still good.
Yeah,
it's still
it's
still
good,
fun.
clean fun. It's a good old
good,
time.
clean fun.
All right,
Exactly.
so no more Mandalorian and all the Marios. Gotcha.
Yeah, Mario.
I feel like you got to
I've
finish it
been
at least.
A bigger fan of now.
Yeah,
Mandalorian, no way.
you're not gonna finish it all. Not even gonna watch
I've
the rest of the
lost
season.
So much interest in that show. Wow. Yeah, you can just tell me what happens. Like,
I'm not
it's
gonna say it
fun.
now.
I'll look up what happens. I saw how Bo-Katan, whatever her name is now like
Catan?
Bo-Katan. Yeah, she's now.
Oh, Ratan.
Yeah, whatever. She's now like pretty much the Mandalorian, and that's kind of.
She was always a Mandalorian.
Well, now she's the Mandalorian. The series is about her now. It's not about him anymore.
Only in the next season we'll tell.
Oh my God! There's no way they're having another season.
Yeah.
It's not canceled.
No, I think they're like filming another season.
There's no way.
What season are we on? Are we on season 4, 5?
I don't know.
3?
So sad.
Mandalorian.
How they killed one of. They killed Star Wars so hard. I'm like, disgusted.
Season 4. Okay, that's
how
a
much they
strong.
okay, you're telling me the first what canceled?
No. Release date, cast, plans, what we know so far. It's coming.
Oof, it's not gonna be
According
good.
to series creator Jon Favreau is already definitely getting a 4th season, and he's already written scripts. Well, there you go.
Ugh, terrible. It's people like you that keep them in business. You gotta
Alright.
just stop watching.
No,
Stop watching, and then
they get my money. I
then-
need content.
there's
What
so
else am I
much
supposed to
better-
watch?
There's
All right.
so much better content.
Shadow and Bone.
Survivor.
No, I'm not watching
Survivor's
Survivor.
great.
Not how am I going to catch up at season 473?
It's
of-
44. not
Well,
40.
you know, not far off. That's about as close as a trillion is. To
Yeah, but think about if Mandalorian had 40 seasons, it's already like a 2 out of 10 show. Now.
No, well, that's different. You can't have like any reality show can just continue forever if they don't change anything and they just have new people.
I guess.
You can't take an old IP. I mean, I guess you just create new content. Like you just keep the story going.
I just don't want to be bait and switched in movies.
Yeah.
I'm so done with it.
Just
if I'm
wait.
watching a Superman movie, I
Wait
don't want
till-
to see Superman.
Yeah,
I don't want to see
like, yeah,
whoever
yeah.
his sidekick is now, and they're the main show. Like,
So I shouldn't ask if you've watched the Supergirl Netflix series.
yeah, no,
Okay,
nope.
it was all right for a few minutes.
Was it?
Yeah.
And then
It's more of the same. The series is, I feel like, I mean, and this is kind of same point. The Mandalorian, I guess you can see it going in that direction a little bit, not as bad. All of like the Marvel specifically series that I've seen on Netflix specifically, it's just the same shit every episode.
yeah,
What's the quest that we need to go on episode end? And maybe there's a little sprinkling of like seasonal backstory to the episode, and then it's like next episode, seasonal sprinkle. Oh no, this planet is in danger,
Yeah.
or whatever. Or the Flash is very much the same. I love the Flash like as a character, and I watched a lot of the Flash on Netflix like fairly early on. I almost weaned my way out of it, just out of like no longer being. It's so same. I can't be interested anymore, but very much the same. Oh no, the central city is in trouble.
Yeah.
We should call the Flash. Zoom, 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 zoom. Success.
and then it's like, all right, back to the
Yeah.
main quest,
Yeah,
and then it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
side questing. The Mandalorian lost me where it was main quest, and then every episode was a side quest that led to another side quest that led to another side quest that then the
Yeah,
Mandalorian
yeah.
couldn't deal with.
Hey, I
and
need a
then
part for
someone
my
had to
thing.
come and save the Mandalorian
Yeah.
every time to complete that side quest, and then that person got all the recognition for
So
saving
you
the
mean
other side quest.
Bo-Katan.
Yes,
Yes.
I mean Bo-Katan.
Hey, can you go rescue these people? Okay, great. Let me take my ship over there. Oh no, my ship got shot. I need to repair my ship so that I can rescue these people. Oh, but to repair the ship, I need to do a mission for the person who's going to repair the ship so that I can rescue these people. And then the guy who's going to do the mission needs another mission and fucking...
Yeah, and then I'm like, I don't want to... Then I found myself... No, this is what happens. That all happens, 20 minutes into the episode. What am I doing? Scrolling on my phone. And then I'm like, oh, I just missed the last 5 minutes because I'm so out of it. Like,
but also, did it really matter that you missed the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, because now I'm like, how is he stuck underneath this rock? And what's this animal crawling on it? Like, what is going on? And that's why I know it's silly, but the Mario movie did a great job of being very simple, very enjoyable. Gave me what I wanted.
Yeah,
it was I wanted more.
Is that just movies too? Like in general, it's got a script, it's a start and a stop, and it tells all one story. And I feel like a TV series, especially the ones that are based off of movies or movie genre IP, is always just like
too much filler.
It's filler. How can we take the same story and then spread it out as long as possible?
I guess that honestly, yeah, you have a point. Maybe that is, I don't need 10 hours of The Mandalorian to complete something that could be done in 2.
Yeah.
Just give me it in 2 hours. Delete all the filler stuff. Delete all the unnecessary character development.
But they figured out the model, and the model clearly pays.
Does it though? I'm pretty sure Marvel is and
it's just so much cheaper.
Are losing so much money.
Are they? I thought it was a lot cheaper to make a series usually than like it is a movie, or the quality is.
Disney, I'm pretty sure
expected to be a lot higher.
Disney profit, 2022. I don't know if this is it. I guess their net income. I don't know. It's hard to know what is coming from the actual. Anyways.
Oh, whale. Not so important.
No.
It is important.
What?
Gold. And heists.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty crazy.
I don't even really know what happened. I just know that I heard about it a few times in the past, like, weekend or so, that somehow someone, some people, some group, something has stolen, was it $20 million worth of gold? How much is $20 million worth of gold? Like, in weight. Like a lot.
I thought you meant how much is $20 million?
It's $20 million. Genius. Thank you. Gold price per weight.
Is it gonna? But the number's gonna be so big that you're not gonna really know what it means.
Per gram. God. Price of gold per pound.
How did they get it? How did they steal it? I don't get it.
I don't know. Gang car regular pound is equal to.
So, what happened? It was at Pearson Airport.
$27,000 a pound.
$27,000.
$20 million divided by 27,000. Rough estimate: 740 pounds of gold.
740,000 pounds of gold. Is that what you said?
No, pounds. Just pounds.
740 pounds of gold?
I think so.
That's not that much.
I don't know. Could be wrong. Probably wrong. Seems wrong. I don't math.
Like that's. I can see how that's stolen now. Honestly, 740 pounds. It takes a couple guys. To
the
carry.
First. Pearson
you
gold
just have a couple
heist.
Bags or
first article I read about it was like, this wasn't just some smash and grab. No fucking shit, genius. Oh hey, this $20 million. Fuck. I'm just gonna grab it and put it in my backpack. Yeah,
there was like an inside job with an inside job with another inside.
Yeah, like here you go. First article. Likely needed insider knowledge. Yeah, of course it did. You literally don't just. Hey, I'm getting off a plane and I see. What, you think a skid of gold is going to be just uncovered?
Yeah.
Like, here's just bricks.
I'm going to place this here for 20 minutes. I hope no one touches it. No, it's like...
No, they probably had armed security. Well, maybe not, I guess.
Probably not armed
Otherwise,
security.
how you would have...
But it really
they clearly fucking should have. Yeah. In the States, that would have had half an army.
Brinks trucks driving around.
They knew what they were after and where to get it. Duh. Certainly not an opportunistic smash and grab. Duh.
Who wrote this? Let's put this person on blast.
These comments came from... associate professor of sociology. Why are you who gets called when we're talking about Oh, wow.
Why are we even talking about
I don't fucking, I mean, clearly nobody listens to our expertise on
that's true.
certain issues.
Brinks truck.
Pre-approval.
Okay, so
Nice.
stolen from Pearson Airport. No one knows what happened to it. $20 million.
Oh, it did not involve access to Toronto Pearson itself and did not pose a threat to passengers or staff. Primary.
Oh, so was it outside of Pearson?
Warehouse leased to a third party. Thieves accessed the public side of a warehouse leased to a third party outside its primary security line. Crime presents larger concern. Not a lapse. I think this is some guy like defending the airport's like situation.
Yeah, because the airport, that being able to happen in an airport is pretty scary, right? It reminds us a lot of the maple syrup. What is it called? The maple syrup heist.
The great maple syrup heist of
2011.
12, 11, something like that.
Both of them in Quebec.
It's just wild. Yeah, that was like over a period of time.
That one's different though. That one was like, oh my god.
It's just a funny, like, it's funny heists in
what's sad?
Canadian history.
This lady's like family owned the, I guess, factory, and her husband was like the N.
No.
Yeah, so he just totally sewered.
Wait, she was like, it was like her family's.
It was like her family's like factory.
And he married in, and then he had the fucking inside.
Had the inside knowledge of how to get around in the factory.
Right.
And then there was like some factory workers that were in on it, and a driver that was in on it. And they just, first of all, they started taking the barrels, taking it to this other facility, and then just like changing the barrels to water and bringing them back. So like they didn't really notice over time.
It's kind of like what I used to do with my dad's booze when I was in high school.
Exactly.
And they go and try and light the Sambuca on fire and, excuse me, you, the fuck over here.
Yeah, when you're drinking it and you're like,
that literally, I thought I was such a, side tangent, we'll get back. Thought I was such a genius in high school. My dad would always keep the Sambuca in the freezer. Also, who the fuck keeps Sambuca in the house?
A lot of people do.
Goddamn Italians.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Which is not my father. Other side. Anyways. Yeah, Sambuca, always in the freezer, and vodka, obviously. And I was like, let's just go and steal some booze. And it's clear, and I put in more clear because I'm a genius, and therefore it makes the same. And no one's going to notice until two things happen. One, the vodka froze. Ruh-roh. Didn't really plan the chemistry ahead of time. And two, they went to do, you light like Sambuca on fire with a couple of coffee beans in it. It gets real nice, and then you blow it out. Well, the Sambuca wouldn't light at all. They were having a tough time lighting, and my parents had friends over, and they were like, this isn't working. And then coincidentally, I came home, I think right around the same time, and I was walking in the door, and they were like, hey, come here for a second. Fuck.
That's pretty funny.
Anyways, water and maple syrup.
Yeah.
Back we go. What happened to carry on your story?
They pretty much just got ballsier, and then they were just like, we don't need this step anymore. Let me just do it from the source, and just started siphoning it straight from the barrels at the factory. Or just
genius.
Like shipping it, yeah. And they made like 10, 20 million, something like that. It's
good.
Maple syrup, real Canadian.
So Canadian. Not to take it back to Netflix, I suppose. You ever watch Riverdale?
First season.
Okay.
And then there
was a maple syrup situation. It just made me think of the syrup family, right? And there was a marriage into there, I think, and then somebody syrup thievery
at the syrup farm, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And then I stopped watching. Then I was like, "What was it?"
Is a shit. It's another one. They're still going.
Really?
I have no idea. There was
That's like 6 years.
It maybe even longer.
Maybe longer.
It went. At first, it was very normal. It followed a thing, and it followed the Archie's comics, and then it got very like the CW kind of thing, the way they do stuff. And I don't know. There was a Dungeons and Dragons like season, but like everyone that played Dungeons and Dragons would like do some weird drugs, and then there was there was some cult shit, and some guy owns a prison, and Archie went to jail.
Oh no. Yeah, I watched. Oh yeah, didn't the dad
died? Oh, the dad actually died. Yeah. And then like, anyways, I have no idea. They're like 3 seasons past where I stopped at a certain point.
You got to stop watching shows sooner.
Yeah, I think so.
You hold on to them too long.
I know. I feel very invested. Very like.
No, you just gotta rip the Band-Aid. Like,
just stop. But then what do I watch?
Look, my screensaver was Mandalorian for 3 years, maybe 2 years. It was a long time. And
what does that tell me? You're not committed enough.
No, I'm committed to greatness. And that was not great anymore. Okay? I still like The Mandalorian, season 1. It's great.
Yeah.
I still like The Witcher,
of quests still.
Season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Or the books, or the games. It was great.
You will hopefully like.
No, I can't even watch it.
What do you think I was gonna say?
A new season of The Witcher?
No, I was gonna say the Warhammer, whatever it's gonna be called.
I am skeptical.
I'm positive. What do you even call that? Optimistically, fucking whatever. I'm terrified, but I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful and also terrified.
They're probably gonna ruin it.
Stop.
They're probably gonna ruin it.
Don't
It's
tell
gonna
me
be
this.
some like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Yo, I was in an offer.
Okay.
This week.
Talking about real estate. Hey.
I was in an offer this week, and the property sold for over 400,000 over asking. No, it was almost 400,000 over asking. Close.
Dog.
And like I thought it would sell for about 200,000 over asking.
Yep.
Around that range, maybe a little bit higher.
Yep.
But it just totally blew that out of the market. I mean, first of all, end user definitely ended up buying it.
Yeah.
Because investors aren't overpaying for it did not make sense at that price anymore, right? Like I don't know what it's end user 100%. Great property, great lot in throwback Roncy.
Hey,
talked about it last week.
Ronce's Valleys.
Yeah. Great property. There were like 12 offers, something like that, on a $2 million home with interest rates at like 6%.
Yeah.
You know, with mortgage rates at 6%. Like, whoa. The market is definitely on fire right now.
And we're back. I think
we're back right away. Like
but
it wasn't
so
a
nonsensical
quick build up. It wasn't a quick build up at all.
No, it went 0 to 100.
Yeah. And everybody now that was on the sidelines, that was like, oh, it's going to keep getting lower and lower. And now we're just back like 10-15% up. Prices have increased from the last
every time.
couple months.
It's like literally every single time people are like, well, I'm just going to stay out here and watch the market go to 0. Fucking all right, cool. Call me again in a couple of years, I guess. Like, and it's the same people and it's the same cycles, and it's like true. It's so funny now having watched a couple iterations of it. Like you hear about it before, and you know that financial cycles go like a certain way, especially in real estate, and you see things happen. And who's to say that this even is a cycle, or we even are done at the current point, right? Who really knows?
Right? Like,
but it's very. It's interesting. It's really always the same people, and that's just probably how they are in the rest of life and everything. But the whole market was on a break, and it's shocking to see how quickly everybody emotionally flips that switch. I mean, you hear the Warren Buffetts of the world say things like, "When people are fearful, be greedy," and vice versa. And over the past few years, it's been evident who has acted in those times and in which way they've acted. And I don't get how as a person, I guess, as an investor with your investment mind and investment model, you can say, I'm going to buy, or I'm terrified of buying something right now because everyone's terrified of buying something right now. And the news is terrified. And then flip a switch in the matter of a week. And be like, great, now it must be a great time to buy because everyone else thinks it's a great time to buy. It's just like it's that like sheep fallacy, like you're just going along
Lemmings.
With. Yes,
have you
Lemmings.
Seen that video?
Used to play a game called Lemmings on Windows 95, baby.
What was the game about?
Walking off a cliff.
So
making sure they don't walk off a cliff. That was the game.
Okay.
You'd like send lemmings in different directions.
It's a
and
really
all
funny
follow
video.
Each other.
Like the video of the lemmings actually doing it.
But yeah, I know the concept very well.
Yeah. They showed us it in school. And
don't be that guy.
They're like, don't be the lemming, and it's just all these lemmings just falling to their death. It's like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of crazy, but thus people do it every time. I mean, of course, it's just human psychology, really.
It's always going to happen. I think because now I've always been asked this question like, oh, when's the right time to buy? When are you buying properties?
Yeah.
Oh, would you buy a property in this market? Yeah. If the right property is on the market, I would want to buy it. There's the deals that are always out there no matter what the market is, and those are the deals you
hold your core fundamentals as like gold. They must stay stable, and if you can meet those core fundamentals in any market condition, there's nothing necessarily
it's like a range,
wrong.
Right? So like if you're watching on camera now, there's a range like this where there's on the bottom, which would be like lowest price, let's slash like best deal, let's say, call it. And up here is like the highest price, like, oh, maybe overpaid for the time. And then on average it usually goes up like this. We're in the middle of that,
You'll
right?
stay range bound, but you'll ping pong as it continues to climb.
If you try to buy properties on the bottom half of that, meaning best deals in this scenario, and you keep doing that, even when the market's down or up, you're going to stay within the range of either good or average. You're not going to be really, really high unless there's a huge market correction. We saw it for a year where the market went down 20% and now has
if you had appropriate fundamentals, even buying at the absolute peak and values having completely plummeted, for the most part, if you're buying on really solid, strong fundamentals, you've got strong cash flow and property that can hold, you've maybe fixed your financing ahead of time because you know you're not doing anything crazy with the property, you would have been able to hold the up and down, and you're now just back riding the same wave that everybody else is. But if you did not follow strong fundamentals and you bought the peak, then you're hurting. Yeah. Or if you bought the bottom, you might have made a ton of money, but if you didn't cash out at the peak and something flipped again, just because you bought the bottom, if you had no strong fundamentals, it could also just be shitty. In the long term, everything kind of shakes out, right? For the most part. But I don't know. It's real emotional. So I've seen it's been so crazy how swingy it's been. So aggressively swingy. I don't think even agents know how to price things anymore. Like, to your point on that property, or even like you might as well post half the listings at $1. Like, just get it on and let the market figure it out. Everyone's doing offer dates again, but then you call the agents to kind of try and get a sense of like what their client is looking for even. And they're like, I don't know. Check comps. Yeah. I'm like, okay, great. Which comps
did you use? Yeah, which comps did you use?
And they're like, the biggest, most expensive one that's not even kind of close to this property. Yep. You're like, okay, cool. I was doing, in an offer recently, same kind of situation. Property needed probably like $800,000 worth of work. Massive house, great location, ton of work, and very, like, the finish potential was fairly high. And the guy's like, well, I'm basing it off of this comp. Or my clients, essentially. He's like, I don't honestly have a great sense of what the client's looking for, but I know he's patient. I'm like, fucking sick. Yeah. Look at this property, right? They're basing the comps off of. It was like $3.5 million. Not kind of similar, but like gold star renovation. And then not budgeting in like anything for the ability to have some risk or like want to take some upside. They were literally like, get your quotes, look at this comp, subtract your quote, that's the price I want, kind of thing. Okay, sure. So they got, it was listed like 1.6. So, do that math on that, and it's like they're wildly off, right? 15 offers at 1.6 for a property that needs minimum $500,000 in renovation. Didn't take anything. Nothing, didn't sell because the guy wanted 2.2 for, a $800,000 renovation in that pocket. It's still there. And he's patient, and he's going to wait because the guy had no idea what his seller wanted. And then some of these, you're like, this is going to sell for blah, and it's ugly, and then it has no offers, and it sells for like way lower than you expected. Like, honestly, list it all at $1. Just let the market decide. Give me open bidding. Let the market decide. Let's see where things go. But it's becoming, I don't want to say it's frustrating, but it's very confusing these days. Nothing. Like, I can value a property based on comps. You can look at what's sold in the neighborhood and you can see what the property is worth. I don't know that the other 10 people bidding on the property have the same opinion of value as I do. And all we can do is say, okay, what do the comps say? Boom. What's it going to take for us to get here? Where do the numbers make sense for us? Kind of working backwards. And here's an offer that we can do. When it's an end user market and people are getting fired up and emotional again, what are you going to do with that? You're right. I can't price in emotion. At least I think it was good fundamentals. Job. I can't price in emotion.
I find myself, I like to play a game when I'm in offers, and especially offer dates, is I try to value the property, and then looking back, did I value it right? Yeah. Right. Especially in offer dates as an investor, as an mainly investor agent, representing my clients, we're typically not the highest bidder on offer dates, especially on properties that look
not if you're into double-digit offers,
or double-digit offers. We're not typically the ones, paying the highest price for those properties because they don't really make sense for us. Yeah. We're looking at numbers. There are some properties, if you go more legal triplexes or bigger multifamily homes, then maybe we will be, but it's because we run our numbers differently and we can get to a higher value that makes sense. Yeah. But when it's end user homes, not really. So I like to play a game. When we lose them, what
How
did it
far
sell
off?
for? Usually
Yeah.
it takes a couple days for the actual price to come. Sometimes it's a week if it's conditional offer that's accepted. And I've been pretty good at that game.
Yep.
I'm pretty good at that game. And like you said, it's not just looking at comps, right? You look at the comps, you can get a good sense. You have to have a feel for the market, what's happened in the last month, because it changes so fast. Is there a lot more offers now? How has the news been portraying real estate? What's happening with interest rates? It all goes in, especially with
sprinkle of individual emotion that you kind of have to use to guesstimate.
Exactly.
Here's where things, the stats dictate it should be. Sprinkle some extra emotion and kind of guesstimate where it's likely at, right?
So I think it's that factor right now that's a little bit different. Is that sprinkling emotion is everything's
it's a
going,
heaping cup of emotion.
Yeah. And especially like for investments, it makes no difference in our valuations because there's actually there's very minimal. Everybody has a preference for something.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and you kind of said something like, depending on the property and what we can do with it, like we are very good at doing a couple of changes here and there to make a property far more profitable than it typically would going into it and looking at it. Maybe other people don't see that, so that we can push things a little bit further. But at the same time, you can't compete with like the end user on that type of property, right?
No, the end user typically wins, and the end user is typically not looking at a lot of the similar properties we're looking at, because we're looking at either more rundown properties, different neighborhoods that maybe multi-million-dollar investors aren't going to want to buy as an end user home. Layouts are different. The lot sizes are typically a little bit different. Sometimes a lot of the times they're the same. But yeah, I think I like to do a good job at estimating it. It requires a lot of digging, not just with comps, but like you said, you call the agent and they can't tell you, or they won't tell you straight up. Depends on the relationship.
Yeah, everyone's a little bit different. You get a little bit more from some than others, and some you kind of have to do a little bit more guesswork. And
typically, if what I've been finding lately is if the agent is more hesitant to give me any hints,
they probably have no idea.
It's probably going to be multiple offers, and there's probably going to be a bidding war that they're preparing for, and they don't want to show any cards.
Yeah,
I got hints from some agents, and that hint was 200,000 off, and I'm they were definitely not expecting this.
No. People really don't know. The listing agents don't know how to price the properties these days.
Yeah,
because they can't account for all the chaos. So, the best listing strategy, that seems to be the most successful these days, is price it ridiculously low, like to quite a bit below what you're actually expecting, what the market's expecting. People are like, it's a down market, I see deals, go. And then you get, maybe you get a dozen offers of kind of junk in some cases that get relisted, or you get a dozen offers in one guy that sends it, just absolutely sends
it. You're driving up hope. That's what it is. It's the people who, let's say their max is $1.5 million, right? And this property is obviously worth $2 million. That's there, but it's listed now at 1.5. And you're like, maybe I can actually get it.
Give it.
We know.
You go into those and there's 15 offers on that property. 10 of them are garbage. Yeah. Right. 10 of them are
might just be
list price plus 50 grand plus 100 grand, but you could still be $500,000 off. Yeah, right. Yeah. And then like 3 of them are players.
3 of them are like, okay, we actually.
And you want to be like in the 3, but not number 1 usually. Like you want to be, to not clearly overpay. You want to be a player. You want to get called back for round 2.
Exactly.
Right. And still have some room to play with, but also not be like sky high, killed everybody.
You always want to be right in the middle there. Yeah. Middle, lower, middle, higher, depending on how many offers. That's usually so if there's 1 or 2 offers, doesn't really matter where you are, you're gonna get a call back. 3 or 4 offers, you'll probably still get a call back, but you don't want to be well below the other ones because it's not going to be as serious with you. Yeah. When there's like 5, 6 plus, that's where you want to be. You want to start getting on the lower end of things, but more in the middle there. Because if you're the 6th lowest, 8th lowest, you have such a high way to go to become the highest, and so many people to kind of take over at that point that anything you say, you're not going to get the time of day with the agent anymore. So getting into that middle to middle lower range, I would say
it depends on like you said, it depends on the number of offers on the table. If there's 2, it's a totally different discussion than if there's 10.
10
right?
is
wildly
10 plus,
different
it's
conversations, and you should probably be at wildly different parts of that equation to get like any serious.
I guess that's where it changes, right? Once you get, so like I said, you want to be middle, lower, and then once you're over 5, 6, now you hit 10 plus. 10 plus is now, forget that middle, lower. You need to be at top.
If
you
you're
need
not,
to be
if you're
at
not top like
5, top 3, or else you're not going to get any time of day because they don't have the time to go to 20 people and have a 10-minute conversation.
No, the only people that are going to do that are going to be the people that give everybody a second shot.
Yeah.
Right. That's going to be, and sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it happens, but it's more of a, hey, you got a second shot. Okay, bye.
Oh,
hey, you got a second shot.
No,
okay, bye.
It's
or a text.
Broker Bay, send
Broker
all
Bay.
message to.
Exactly. It's very
hey,
quick.
Second round. You have 30 minutes.
If you're getting that message, you're probably not one of them.
If you're not getting a call.
If you're not getting a detailed call, being like, hey, really push it. This is it.
Honestly, this is the argument for blind bidding going away. This is the argument for like
I don't think it's
very
a bad idea.
eBay style public bidding, and I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a pretty good idea.
There is no more feels bad, and you never really know, right? But there's no more feels bad than like clearly winning by $100,000 or more, kind of thing. No. And like that's terrible. And then what happens when you don't appraise because you got emotional and you like way overbid and 100%. You're definitely firm because you won on 10 offers.
And you don't know, right? The market, 90% of the time, the market, it could be crazy, but the property you bid on maybe just wasn't randomly.
Yeah.
Right. And then you just ended up paying much more than. I mean, that's again where the argument goes back and saying, well, it doesn't matter. If someone paid for it, then that's what it's worth. That's the market dictating what the market is.
Appraiser would argue that is not the case.
I've seen the way appraisers
work.
But
some appraisers...
I've seen the way they work.
I mean, it's the appraiser's opinion, right? Yeah. It's all opinion. The entire thing is people's opinion.
Yeah.
An appraisal is just one person's opinion of the value based on a certain set of metrics, but you push for a different appraisal from a different person and you could have a totally different value. We use a different set of comps. That's a totally different value on the same property, value is to an extent subjective. It's kind of why I like the super multifamily stuff a lot lately. Value is very easy to dictate.
Yeah, it's different.
NOI, cap rate, value.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
and if I can fix NOI, I can make profit.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
versus emotions and market and what have you.
It's a totally
finance
different game.
Is a bit of a different.
It's a totally different game when you're in the end user state to the investment state. It's the same with condos. Condos are much different. Condos, there was a condo that looked exactly like the unit that you're buying 98% of the time that has sold in the last few months. Yeah. Usually that's how it works.
Yeah.
Right? And you can use that to exactly dictate to a large degree what yours is going to sell for.
Very close. Because I think that's a big difference between Toronto freehold specifically. If I go out of the city and I look at like a subdivision homes are kind of fairly cookie cutter in a lot of the case, right? So you can really easy compare apples to apples. Neighbor down the, Sally's 2,000 square foot, 4-bed, detached, 2-car garage, sold, for $2 million a couple months ago, and it's identical to this one.
Yeah.
And even if it's been upgraded, the finishes are all in the last 20 years, 40 years anyways. Toronto's a lot different. Toronto freehold, every bloody house is different. Every neighbor, there's very little cookie cutter to a neighborhood aside from the semi 2-stories are kind of the same general shape and footprint, but they're 100 years old. They've had who knows how many additions, who's underpinned a basement, who hasn't. The finishes could be some variety of 100 years worth of different stuff, right? There's so many different variables. And then the land scarcity and people being kind of crazy and making crazy offers sometimes is uncontrollable. Condos, it's so nice. It's so cookie cutter price per square foot.
They don't swing as much too. I think that's what we learned in the last 4 years is that, even during the crazy times, they go up more steady and they come down more steady because people are, well, hey, that sold for $1 million, last year.
Aside from, I think, early COVID, when it did the whole Airbnb exodus and everyone left the city and stuff, but that was a very, very specific circumstance that hit a lot of risk points that people were already being kind of dicey with. Mm-hmm. So that obviously had an impact, but otherwise, exactly that. It's very very stable.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Oh, we went 40 minutes.
I know. What the fucking ranty rant.
Yeah.
Blind bidding. We should go away.
We should probably end it soon.
Uncle Joe. No. Wrong button.
All right. We'll continue this conversation another time. Yeah.
Blind bidding next time on.
Ooh. Kind of like blind bidding.
like it going away.
Oh, I mean, not like, yeah. Wow.
Should have left it.